Hello, my name is Richard Linane and I'm head of the Biological Weapons Convention Implementation Support Unit in Geneva. I'm very pleased to be sending you this video message to Astana. I'm sorry I can't be there in person, but Central Asia is a region we're very strongly committed to, and it was indeed our pleasure to participate in a workshop in Astana only 2 years ago in September 2009, when we put on a practical workshop on the Biological Weapons Convention with Canada and the government of Kazakhstan. So once again, I'm very pleased to be speaking to you today. I want to talk about the Biological Weapons Convention and its relevance to Security Council Resolution 1540, particularly on the issue of capacity building. And I want to talk about how the Implementation Support Unit, my unit, can help you and your governments better implement both the provisions of the Biological Weapons Convention and the requirements of Security Council Resolution 1540. The Biological Weapons Convention is a multilateral treaty that completely bans the development, production, acquisition, stockpiling, transfer of biological agents and toxins for other than peaceful purposes. I'm very pleased that all the countries of Central Asia are states parties to the BWC. That's very encouraging, it's very good, it's a demonstration of the commitment of the governments to ensuring that biological agents and toxins are only used for peaceful purposes. And your membership of the BWC will help your governments to fulfill your obligations under Security Council Resolution 1540. 1540, as no doubt you'll be discussing, covers of course not just biological weapons but also chemical, nuclear, radiological and so on. But there are a number of overlaps and I want to focus on the issue of biological weapons naturally. It's Articles 3 and 4 of the Biological Weapons Convention are the most relevant when we're talking about cooperation with 1540. Article 3 of the BWC requires that all states parties do not assist any other state or anyone else to acquire biological weapons. This is usually interpreted as a requirement to enact export controls, to control transfers of potentially sensitive biological technology or equipment. Article 4 of the BWC requires all states parties to enact national implementation measures to implement the provisions of the treaty nationally within their own domestic jurisdictions. So you can see that there's a big overlap there with the requirements of 1540. And in fact, many governments find it useful to enact these provisions in parallel. That is, to take steps which both fulfill their obligations under the BWC and also meet their obligations under 1540. Now, what kinds of obligations are we talking about? Export controls I've mentioned. Also issues of biosafety and biosecurity. Ensuring that laboratories that deal with potentially dangerous biological agents, toxins, pathogens are properly secured, that they have proper safety protocols in place, that the staff who work there are properly trained and licensed. That scientists who work with these kinds of dangerous pathogens and toxins are aware of the dangers and they know how to manage the risks. This issue of education awareness raising is also important. There are many things that national governments can do to ensure that the risks of biological agents and toxins are widely understood in the scientific community. And it's important to engage the scientific community to help manage that risk. It's a risk that's grown beyond the capacity of governments themselves to manage. We have to ask the scientific community to help us, and that's an important part of our work. Then there's the matter of legislation and regulations. Countries are required to have legislation to implement the BWC. It's important to ensure that that legislation also covers 1540 and that the different obligations fit together in an efficient and manageable way. How can we help? The role of the Implementation Support Unit is to support you, to support your efforts in taking these steps to fulfill your obligations. We can help you get help. We're a very small unit, we have only 3 staff. That's one of the reasons we can't be with you today. But we can help you get the assistance you need to take steps to improve biosecurity and biosafety, to draft legislation, to enact regulations, to get technical advice, to get financial assistance, to build capacity. We can help you get assistance from other states parties, we can get you assistance from relevant international organisations, from the non-governmental organisations and from the scientific community. One way or another, our role is to help you get the help you need to carry out your obligations to ensure that biological agents and toxins are properly managed in your country. So if you think we can help you, please get in touch. The organisers of this conference, our colleagues in the Office for Disarmament Affairs, have all the details of how to contact us. I hope they've circulated them, and please send us an email, get in touch. We can help you. We can help you with specific obligations under the Convention, for example, the confidence building measures, which many states in your region already participate in. But any aspect of the Biological Weapons Convention, any aspect of questions you may have or capacity you need, please get in touch, we can assist you. I also want to say a few words about the forthcoming 7th Review Conference of the Biological Weapons Convention. This will be held here in Geneva from the 5th to the 22nd of December. These review conferences are held only every 5 years, so it's a very important occasion for the BWC. And it's where the states parties to the treaty will be setting the future direction of the treaty, looking at the program of work for the next 5 years. With that in mind, it's a very important opportunity for you, for your governments, to come to Geneva and to speak about what your needs are, what your desires are, the direction you'd like to see the Convention moving, and how you think the BWC can contribute to your efforts to strengthen barriers against the possible use of biological agents and toxins as weapons. So please do encourage your governments, your colleagues, to come to the review conference in Geneva to contribute to the discussion there on the future of the Convention. One thing the review conference will be considering is the future of the Implementation Support Unit, the ISU. So if you have views on what kind of institutional support you think the Convention could use, that you could use as states parties, please come to Geneva and tell the other states parties about it. Also up for discussion at the review conference will be the future of what we call the Intersessional Work Programme. That is a series of meetings in Geneva to discuss exactly the sorts of topics you're discussing in Astana these next 2 days. For example, biosafety, biosecurity, education and awareness raising, legislation and regulations. All these topics will be discussed in a future work programme, and it's at the review conference that that work programme will be designed. So again, if you have views on how such a programme could help you, could help your governments, please participate in the review conference and get your views known, because your participation in the future of the Convention will help ensure that we can continue to help you. Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak to you. I wish you a productive workshop, and again, if there's any way we can help you, please get in touch. Thank you.